Welcome back to the Broad Street Benchwarmers podcast. My name is Adam Den, Michael Cormelos, and Ethan Novoditis here with me as always. We're so excited to be here today, guys. We've been trying to do this for years. Every single time it doesn't work. We were so close last year. We were so close.
Yeah, we recorded it, but
we recorded it, and it was what was it, like 2,000 mega super?
It was like
gigabytes?
a gig. It was like 2 gigs for like a night because it took all of the data from the video.
Yep.
That's what iPhones do, but this will be fine.
We did not appreciate that.
Swear to God, it'll be fine. It's gonna go well.
Yep. This is gonna go fantastic. We are doing our mock draft. We are going to give our takes, our predictions, combining how we feel about these prospects with how teams feel about these prospects, and coming together to give our most realistic predictions for what is going to happen on draft day. So just to kind of break it down, we've split up the picks in threes. So picking first will be Athan with the Chicago Bears. Wonder who that's going to be. Picking second will be Michael Cormelos with the Washington Commanders. Actually wonder who that's going to be. And picking third will be me with the New England Patriots. We are allowed to do trades. We are going to be offering each other trades, and we'll see what happens. So,
stop banging your trades. You better give me a damn good package.
I'm giving you a damn good package, believe me. So, with that, I open up the 2024 NFL Draft with Ethan Novoditis on the clock.
Okay, well, since I'm in charge of the graphics, I can share my screen, and okay, I'm gonna show my face. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, share back here. Show my face, please. Okay. This is the first pick. We've known this, pretty much since the beginning of the season. We just didn't know how the Bears would get here. The route was trading Justin Fields for nothing, which, I understand because this by declining the 5th-year option, this is the last year Justin Fields will be in Pittsburgh. They declined it today, which I get. It's $25 million for a generally unproven young quarterback. Well, you get 5 years of a blue chip QB1. For us, we all said QB1, and you can see why he won the Heisman. Not this last year, but the year before that. Unanimous All-American that year, Pac-12 Player of the Year. And despite a truly awful season for USC, per the standards of last year, he had 30 touchdowns, 5 picks, about 68.6% completion. And that's with very middling weapons and offensive line. It's without Jordan Addison, who went in the 20s last year. So, there's no real questioning who this was going to be. And he's the pick. I can't do any mental gymnastics to say Drake May, personally, or Jaden Daniels. And, obviously the Fields trade just pretty much confirmed this. And, having him for 5 years with, I would say, it's not elite duo, but a very, very good duo in Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, with a respectable offensive line, a good running back who was an Eagle about 4 months ago, and got Cole Kmet. You probably are going to use the 9th pick to improve the defense, but it totally could be offensive line or like a third receiver, assuming you don't bring back Keenan Allen. But Caleb Williams, he's been in the QB1 conversation pretty much since he hoisted the Heisman in 2022. And I don't really have much else to say.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy pick.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think, you can talk all about the talent of Williams, and I do believe he is one of the greatest quarterback prospects in not just recent NFL history, but NFL history as a whole. But also at the same time, we got to talk about the Bears, man. The Bears are going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't feel like the Panthers like last year because
No.
we were expecting Frank Reich to be like good,
Yeah.
which was our fault. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
they have all like legit all of the infrastructure to be a good team.
Yep. Yeah.
Like they brought
completely.
back the CB1.
Yep.
They paid the edge rusher. They traded a second for.
Yep.
They have
The line wasn't bad last year.
yeah, and they could.
Defensive line
And they,
has room to
I mean, they don't have a
improve, but
ton
they
of
have
picks,
stuff
but they
there.
could still supplement that
Yeah.
if they want to trade down. Like
Yep. All the options are there.
they have to. They cannot be bad, which
No,
is
they cannot.
kind of aged terribly. But
Yeah.
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 All right.
That's awesome.
So we are at number 2 with Michael. Let me.
I know
Michael Cormos here on the clock.
there's been a lot of
Huh?
speculation about this pick. But in my opinion, this pick was a solid deal for me, like, a year and a half ago, watching this guy play football. I mean, he's, in my opinion, the quarterback one in most draft classes of recent memory besides 2019, 2020. No, 2020 and 2021, sorry.
Yeah.
Besides the Burrow and Trevor year. It's Drake May. I mean, he's awesome. It sucks that he's in this quarterback class with Caleb Williams. He truly is one of the better quarterback prospects I've seen in the last 10 years. The stats won't show it because he's on an awful UNC offense. I did have Tez Walker, but not a great O-line, not a great okay coach. Outside of Tez Walker, you're not looking at a great receiving core. I mean, he's athletic. He's got a hell of an arm. I mean, he's just awesome. I love watching him play football. He can just do it all. And I know the problem. I do understand the problems that people have where, if there's a bad play, he's going to make it worse. He's going to make a ridiculous decision. But those are just things that you see in common with quarterbacks anyway. You can see it a little bit in Caleb Williams. You see it a little bit in Jalen Daniels. So, this is what you develop in the NFL for. But, this is what, the NFL coaching's for. But this is really a no-brainer for me. He's awesome. I can't wait to see him develop into, a Pro Bowl quarterback because I blatantly think that that's how it's going to go.
Yeah,
And this is without saying I totally understand the Jalen Daniels debate. But I just think Drake May's a better prospect. He's consistently been a better player over the course of his college career compared to Jaden Daniels. I understand Jaden Daniels won the Heisman this year. It was a weaker Heisman class, but he still won the Heisman. I understand he's great, but I just don't know if Jaden Daniels' play style, first of all, matches with the Washington, but also just matches, where Washington wants to be and, where the state of the NFL is right now. That's it. I don't want to disrespect him.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on May, I think, the ceiling on him is a Pro Bowl level quarterback. He has all the intangibles. He has pretty much everything you'd want. It's just really stuff that looks really fixable on paper, but comes down to, again, so much of this coming down to the team and the location that they end up in. Can this new Washington staff that steps right in, really be able to improve his footwork and turn him, mentally into a sharper passer? So that's, going to be a big challenge for a new coaching staff. I don't know that I have the most faith in Cliff Kingsbury to be the one to do that, in my opinion, but we'll find out. I think with the right coaching, the sky's the limit. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate, what do you call it also? I don't hate the Washington offense. The O-line's pretty bad, but
No.
I think
they spent a decent amount of money just because they have cap, but
I don't hate it at all. So I feel like
it's fine.
I was not a fan of what they did in free agency. I think the line is bad, but the thing is, they have so much capital in this draft. And I think as we start seeing them in the later rounds, that's where they can get a trade back in. They're going to have a lot of capital to invest in positions like the line, positions like receiver, and grow even more. So
absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's a team with, I think, could be a bright future, especially if they're going to draft Drake May, who's, as I said, the quarterback one in any recent class except 2020 and 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not post-draft Bryce Young hate either. Right? I just think he's a better prospect than Bryce Young.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
All
right. I'm on the clock.
Yep.
I'm on the clock. So there's been a lot going on in New England, if you haven't heard. Robert Kraft has seemingly, I'm Elliot Wolf now. Robert Kraft is my superior, and he is yelling down at me seemingly to take a quarterback. He has taken control of the reins of the draft process, and he wants a quarterback to lead his franchise into the future. That is what all the reports say. That is, what everything says. And it's a strange situation here in New England. I, on the other hand, Mr. Elliott Wolf, do not really feel rushed to take a quarterback, according to reports. I feel like I like a lot of prospects in this draft. I would be fine moving down. My market is open. But Mr. Bobby Kraft does not feel that way, and I would like to keep my job. So the pick here is going to be Jaden Daniels, quarterback out of LSU. And I think that's a fine pick, in my opinion. I like Jaden Daniels a decent amount. I think there's a lot of questions as far as, kind of the weapons he had around him in this offense. Like, yes, he had the LSU offensive line. Yes, he had Malik Neighbors. And some of the charting stuff, a little risky as well. We know he can throw the deep ball. We know he can throw kind of the screens, the short passing game, kind of that RPO style. It's the middle of the field where he has struggled due to charts. A really weird chart for Jaden Daniels as far as accuracy as a whole. I also have serious questions about his size. 6'3", 210 pounds. We haven't seen a guy like this who plays like this either. This guy is running around, diving, throwing his body out there, putting his life on the line. It's scary for a guy his height, and that's something that he's not going to be able to do at the NFL level. I'm also scared because as Mr. Elliott Wolf, I've done a terrible job this offseason at surrounding any quarterback with anything that they're going to have to work with. So throwing Jaden Daniels in this situation to me is not ideal in any way. I think there are going to be serious struggles there to start because the infrastructure is just not there. So hopefully I'm able to invest better with my other picks, kind of build a receiving core and any form of blocking around him for the love of God. But yeah, I'm excited for the future with Jaden Daniels. I'm not sure I'm in the situation to help him succeed, but I'm excited to watch him play.
I will just chime in real quick. I completely agree with everything you said. The only thing that gives me a little bit of hope about Jaden Daniels succeeding in this first year is I understand it's a bit of a different coaching staff, and it's still a terrible core around him. But I did not hate the 2020 Cam Newton season when he played before he got COVID. And I feel like this is a play style you can look very similar to, maybe a bit more mobile than 2020 Cam Newton was. But if they're able to kind of replicate what they did, then I think Jaden Daniels is able to succeed very well. Without, the core yet around him. Because I do remember Cam Newton had a pretty bad offense around him too. So
I agree.
That's just something I thought about immediately when you picked this. I thought about before Cam Newton got injured in 2020, he was having a pretty solid season. So
yeah. I think that line was better though. That's my thing, if I'm remembering correctly. And it's just so decimated.
I also think Jaden Daniels is a bit more mobile than 2020 Cam Newton, which I think can
that's a good point. Yeah,
it works.
Yeah, we'll find out, man.
Bit of hope. It's just because they've done it recently with they tried it with Cam, so I think that they'd be able to do it with a younger, better, more athletic, better arm version of that 2020 Cam Newton. So
yeah, that's true.
Just for people to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand your pause with taking a quarterback because it's kind of insane from a football point of view to just throw a guy who already was throwing himself to the wolves for fun, as your franchise guy. But I think ever since the post-Tom Brady era, they've sort of perpetually overachieved other than last year. They will probably get at least 5 or 6 wins with Gerard Mayo. He'll
do like Gerard Mayo.
Yeah. I assume he'll be a good coach, and he will get wins out of his team regardless of whatever the roster is. And I feel like if you're in this spot where you can take a elite quarterback prospect like Jaden Daniels, you kind of have to. Because I don't see them being a team that next year, if they win 6 games and they're picking 9th or 10th, if they want to mortgage more of their future just to go up and do the same thing when they could have just done it this year.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they're going to do it. And that's why he's the pick here. So
yeah.
I am.
And right before you say that, hold on.
Yeah.
I do have something too when you're done.
I agree. Also, simply because next year's quarterback class is awful, guys.
I mean,
Like,
it'll probably
There's two guys.
it'll probably be okay.
Yeah,
Because there's always one guy that comes out.
maybe. I think
this
Jaden
year it was
Daniels,
Jaden Daniels, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
I think Jaden Daniels would have been the quarterback one in this class, and I don't know when they're, like you said, when they're going to be able to pay this again. So,
yeah.
as
That's what I
critical as
said.
I am of what they've done, I do agree with the pick. It's just like
Yeah,
it's annoying to see him fit here because I love him as a player, and I can see him struggling.
Yeah, I mean, teams do years of research ahead to make these picks, and I don't know if New England's going to be in a position to take Ewers or Sand. My two guys. I'm assuming they're going to be on the top of the draft boards next year. Right now, are Quinn Ewers and Shader Sanders.
Yeah,
There are going to be the questions about Shader Sanders, like the character or whatever, because of Dion. But I'm not worried about it because he's really damn good. But those are the two guys I'm looking to be at the top of the board. I really can't think of anybody else unless that A&M quarterback gets healthy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if New England, with that roster they have, whether or not it's with Zappy or other random quarterback, is in a position to be in the top 3 next year. Just because I still think that defense is damn good.
Yeah.
But that's the note. But I completely agree with what you said, Adam.
All right. So I am in the Cardinals draft room alongside the Eagle killer himself, Jonathan Gannon. And he's telling me, pick up the phone. And I'm like, but Jonathan, we have, let me pull up my board again. We have the second best player in the draft in our hands. What do we do? So I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to entertain it because, I mean, okay, before I answer the phone, I'm going to say it just seems too predictable for them to be like, we're going to trade down like 10 spots again, pick up another first round pick because we did it last year. And it's good management, like objectively, but also you kind of need to use these high picks at some point. It won't, you can't Sam Presti this with the NFL. But yeah, Monty's on the phone, and I assume it's Quessy from the Vikings, but
it is not. Quessy is Michael. This is the Denver Broncos. This is Sean Payton.
Oh, this is Sean Payton, and
this is Sean Payton.
He's in his Mike Ditka bag for J.J. McCarthy.
Yes, Sean Payton would like to offer a first next year as well as a second for the 4th overall pick.
So 2 1s and a 2.
Yeah, 2 1s and a 2.
Okay, and that's going down to 12.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, too bad.
Oh,
I don't care because Marvin Harrison Jr. is my second ranked player in the class. And you need to help out Kyler Murray. My God.
You just screwed over the Chargers completely.
Well, not really, because it's a really good receiver class. But Marvin Harrison Jr., legit, probably top 3 receiver prospect in the past decade, maybe. He's unbelievable. Best receiver in the country last year per the awards people. Won the Bletnikoff, 2-time All-American. Receiver 1 for all of us. 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns last year with a very mid Ohio State offense, for being real. 6'3", 209.
Great offense, terrible quarterback.
Just complete receiver. Just everything you want. He will be 22 by camp. So you're going to have him at least, he's going to be 27 by the end of his first contract. Like I cannot imagine him being bad. Like he seems like the most, like the surest thing in the draft, maybe other than Joe Alt. Like he is just unbelievable. And I'm not saying that because I'm a closet Ohio State fan. I swear to God, this guy's really good. And if you have the choice of just filling out the roster or getting Kyler Murray, the receiver 1, he's been lacking since DeAndre Hopkins got traded away or like had his weird like PD thing, you got to take the blue chip guy because he could transform this offense. I don't expect him to solve all their problems, but it's definitely an amazing start because he is a fantastic player. So, MHJ, you're an Arizona Cardinal. I'm very sorry for you. You could have been a Charger, which would have been fun, but also you're in a Greg Roman offense, so how would that really have gone? But yeah.
I love it. I think I agree with the reasoning. If I'm the Arizona Cardinals, I'm staying here. Harrison's a guy. We talk about different strengths of all the guys in this receiver class. Harrison is just the all-around best.
Yep.
He is an incredible route runner. He's incredibly fast, obviously. He's so physical. He can do everything. He is everything. I think he has a chance to be a Pro Bowler and even an All-Pro in his rookie year. Like, it raises the ceiling of this Cardinals offense so much, and I love it.
All right. So the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh are on the clock now. So, and Sean Payton is going to call everybody until he calls to 12. But
Hello?
We are offering the
same package.
We offered. We are
Same
offering
package?
same package.
That shit hilarious. I'll take it. enjoy screwing your franchise.
All right.
All right.
So do I get? I get
Payton.
12, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you
you're
get
at 12.
Okay.
Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos are on the clock.
And so much for Zach Wilson. So much for the 2 days of Zach Wilson being QB1.
So much for Zach Wilson. We are selecting quarterback J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. Guys, this is not
a trade ever.
This is not perfectly what I would want.
This is a predictive mock. This is not
a predictive mock.
What we do mock. Look at the grades.
Yep. As you can see, I have him mid-second round grade on my board. That's how I feel. I've watched probably everybody's like, oh my God, you have to watch every single J.J. McCarthy game to get the full scope on what these intangibles that the NFL teams are seeing. I'm like, okay, guys, I watched 6 games. I don't get it yet. Okay. Maybe I'll get there by tomorrow night. All right. But there's things I like. He's a better athlete than you would think going on film. I don't know how that translated at the NFL level. He has a stronger arm than I remembered. I don't know how that translates at the NFL level. There's definitely limited opportunities within the Michigan offense, obviously, for him to showcase those talents. And so you have to wonder, that's why you have to watch probably all of these games, is because I could watch 6 J.J. McCarthy games, and I probably got to see as many throws as I got from 2 Caleb Williams games. So I see the argument from that. I don't get to go to senior day. I don't get to give him a private workout. I don't get that point of thinking. So maybe they know something I don't. For me, I see the ceiling as Brock Purdy. And there are teams that love Brock Purdy. There are teams that are fine with Brock Purdy. I would not want to give up all my assets to get Brock Purdy at 5 overall, but I think if the Denver Broncos are in this position, to me, it seems that the NFL has J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May intermixed at 2, 3, and 4. I think I would not be surprised if J.J. McCarthy went at 3. I would not be surprised if J.J. McCarthy went at 4. And I think if he makes it to this 5th pick, someone is going to give up a monster package, maybe even bigger than the one I just gave up to get him. And I think given that I have the Denver Broncos, and I know that you guys are not giving up a package to take J.J. McCarthy, I was all over the phone. So J.J. McCarthy, franchise quarterback in Denver. He'll sit behind Jarrett Stidham probably for significant parts of this year, as funny as that is, and hopefully be their franchise quarterback.
It won't happen.
Yeah, well, fortunately,
see it. But I also didn't see much of Herbert, so. But I don't really compare. But
Yeah.
Actually, I did see a lot in Herbert. I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't think of who I'm actually trying to think of here. There's one quarterback miss I have, but I don't really know. I mean, but he's just not that good. I mean, like I haven't seen it. Like, it's the big problem that he has. Like, I've seen it from the other big 4 quarterbacks in this class, and I've seen it consistently. Maybe not consistently from Daniels, but from the other 3, I've seen it consistently, and I've seen enough from Daniels in the past 2 years to make me want to take. I am not giving up this much of a haul for a guy who's like an ultimate project in this class.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean the upside is he's like 21.
Yeah.
That's all. It's not football.
The upside ends there.
I mean, like there are plenty other
Like, he
quarterbacks.
can make throws.
21. Let's take a look at some real quarterbacks. I mean, Michael.
How old was Jamarcus Russell?
Yeah. You already look this up. Oh god.
I mean, guys,
Marcus
Austin Reed,
Russell.
21, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was 21 when he was drafted.
Okay.
Not joking.
Okay.
The search.
Okay.
All right, so you're up again
All right.
for the New York Football Giants.
The New York Football Giants are on the clock. And you know what? Guess what, guys? This made it really easy for the New York Football Giants. Because the New York Football Giants were thinking about J.J. McCarthy. Because they're insane.
Oh no!
And that's how they work. So they're like, oh no, now we have to transition to an actually smart pick. And so going from here, I believe this New York Giants team is a really good fit for both receivers of the top class. I believe both Malik Neighbors and Rome Odunze fit really well within this offense. And I actually believe Rome Odunze is the better fit. He is that X receiver. He is kind of that blueprint that you look towards within an offense. So Athan's going to pull up Rome Odunze.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pull the carpet out from the rug because I'm taking Malik Neighbors.
Whoa,
yeah.
Okay, well, we're moving two whole sides. Oh my god.
The New York Giants offense is going to run you off the field, and that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, with
Jalen
Devin
Hyatt,
Singletary
Malik
and
Neighbors,
5 games of Darren Waller. Oh.
Darius Slayton, Darren Waller if he doesn't retire. This is the new New York Giants offense, and I love Malik Neighbors, man. This might be my favorite prospect in this class. The route running, the speed, the yards after catch, the burst. He has just Deebo Samuel written all over him. I absolutely love him. Big Deebo Samuel. Look at him. 6'8", 199 pounds. Absolute monster on the football field. He jumps out. Watching Jaden Daniels go on the tape, it was hard to focus on Jaden Daniels because Malik Neighbors was right there running these incredible routes and getting so much yards after catch. He is going to be a star in this league. Again, I think he could be a Pro Bowler and maybe even an All-Pro. I am a little more hesitant towards that in his first year because of the limitations of the New York Giants offense. But I'm so excited to watch this guy play. He is going to be a star, and he fits right in with what the New York Football Giants are trying to go on with. He may not be the perfect fit as far as, receiver fits within the offense, but he's the best player on the board, and I think you got to go there if you're this Giants team. So give me Malik Neighbors here.
Yeah, I mean, they're due because we took Devontae Smith away from them 3 years ago, so it's only fair for them to get one finally. They traded down, and was it that year for Justin Fields, which eventually turned into Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau, which has gone. It's gone. It happens. They've played football sometimes, but yeah, I can't really see them going any other way unless they're like, oh gosh, well we just have to cut our losses, Bo Nix, but yeah, he's great. I think as receiver one, it's fine. It's your pick between Rome or Malik, and I believe I'm up now with the Titans, and they're like, well, we just paid Calvin Ridley a ungodly amount of money to be our receiver 1B because D-Hop's still on the team. And then you look at the rest of the team and you're like, oh, you have a lot to do. And there are many options. Two guys I'm thinking of are Joe Alt and Dallas Turner. And I feel like you have to go with the better player because you're the Titans and you just got to get the best players on the field. And that man is the number one tackle per relative athletic score. His name is Joe Alt. He is like the fourth best player in the class. He is absolutely unbelievable. 6'8", 321, converted tight end. So he's got all the athleticism in the world. Only gave up 1 sack and 5 pressures last year. 2-time All-American. OT1 across the board. He will be. Yeah, he'll be 21 by camp. He just turned 21, and he is so polished. He is just so unbelievably strong. I mean, this is sort of like speaking of banalities for offensive linemen, but it's so true. Like he is. I can't think. I mean, you can make an argument for Sewell, but he was still a little raw coming out. So like, I can't think of a tackle prospect in the past like decade who's been as elite as him. And I think if you're sticking with Skoronski at guard, I think Joe Alt as your franchise left tackle for the next 5-10 years, absolutely. That's a question you're trying to get on the phone. But I already made you can't have Michael Penix. I'm not doing that. Yeah, the Vikings are notorious for letting the pick go. When it's past done. So yeah, it's fine. So
the Falcons' phone are blowing up right now.
Yeah. So here we are at number 8.
Yeah, I just wanted to say.
Yeah.
With all
Joe Alt's sick. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's incredible, but I think we have to understand the depth of this offensive line class as well. I love Joe Alt. I have Joe Alt 5th on my big board. I think he's one of the best players in this class. But I think all of these linemen, as we're going to see throughout these next couple of picks, are really, really talented, really, really versatile. This is the best class of tackles I can think of in a long time. Yeah. And so I think, I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee even thought about going a lot of ways with that pick, even with the talent of Alt, just because of the specific strengths of a lot of these other guys. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like just the values there. Like, he is not the 7th best player in the class. It's not really close for me. So that's a risk I'm willing to take. Like, sure, I wouldn't mind taking a few mid-round picks to move down a little bit, but if he's there, like, I feel like you kind of have to. So
yeah,
definitely,
for sure.
He's awesome. I don't have much to say, but he's awesome.
Yeah. So the Falcons are up, and the phone is ringing again.
Who?
The Indianapolis Colts.
Nope.
Yeah, well, that's like 7 spots, so I understand.
Atlanta had 2 big problems last year, in my opinion. Well, 3, but 2 that had to do with players. Arthur Smith was a problem, but he got fired. First problem, quarterback. That was solved.
Yeah.
We think it was solved.
Yeah.
They addressed it, so they're not going to draft a quarterback. The other problem they had was rushing the quarterback.
Yeah.
So this pick's pretty easy for me. This guy has been my number 1 edge, through it all. I thought he was awesome last year. I thought he was having a tackle duo of this guy and Will Anderson is just epic. He's just good at everything. I don't really have much to say. He's amazing. He's an amazing prospect. It's Dallas Turner, a defensive end from Alabama. I mean, he literally just. I don't have anything. Like, he's just awesome. He's so athletic. He's so smart. I mean, sometimes he kind of closes in too quickly on the quarterback, which is something that's the only flaw I've seen of him anywhere. But he's just great. He's fast. He's athletic. He's great. He has great moves. He's great finesse moves to get. I mean, and he's just the best edge on the board in my opinion. I mean, Latu's there. There's a bit of injury scare with him that I think a lot of teams are going to take into consideration. But even without the injury scare, I still think Dallas Turner's the best edge rusher of this entire prospect. Great size, too. 6'2", 250. Not bad. Maybe converted outside linebacker. Not really sure. But, they're going to do whatever they want with him. Raheem Morris is awesome defensively. I'm sure he's going to figure out great ways to get him involved on the D line, obviously on the D line, but like just different ways to get him rushing the quarterback, rushing the passer, different schemes. It's going to go great. I love this. I can't wait to see him in this defense, not offense.
Yeah, in my opinion, Turner has probably the highest ceiling of any of these edges that we consider to be the top first-round edges, and that's why he is my edge one. I'm not sure his college production generally reflected that. I think, Latu maybe was the more refined player in college, but I think Turner's athleticism just raises his ceiling in so many ways. If he can mechanically kind of add more pass rush moves, he continues to develop. I think he's going to be an even better player. And I like the fit in Atlanta, especially you said they have the need for edge, especially. So I like the fit.
Yeah. I believe it's the Bears at 9.
Yep.
The phone should be ringing for me, for somebody, but I'm keeping the phones down just because I don't see a team like the Raiders or the Seahawks jumping because of the point you just said about the linemen. Like, it's too deep to really risk throwing some draft capital when you can just stick and pick the guy, because there will be at least 2 or 3 guys there. So
maybe we'll see what happens these next couple picks.
Yeah. I feel like the Bears would be a little pissed considering what just happened, because him and Montez Sweat would be disgusting.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm actually not pissed. I think I would have gone the same way either way with this one, if that tells the time. But the phone is open, so if you guys are both good with the phone.
Yep.
Okay. So Ryan Poles, I'm Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles is sitting here, and I think there's a pretty clear on my draft board who are kind of the blue chip first round guys left and who are not. And on my draft board, really, there's only one blue chip early first round guy left who I think has the talent that he needs to be taken here. And luckily for the Chicago Bears, it's a perfect position of need. It's a position which they invested in this offseason, but a position which they acquired a player who, is on the older side. A player who, may not be continuing for a long stretch of his career. And so I got to take the last blue chipper out there. Give me Rome Odunze.
Is this for real? Is this for real?
From Washington. This is absolutely
I mean, it should be. It absolutely should be. He is for real.
Absolutely for real.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about fit within the Chicago Bears offense now, right? They acquired Keenan Allen. That's what I've been referring to. They have DJ Moore. I think Keenan Allen as a slot guy, Rome Odunze as your X, and DJ Moore as your Y is completely serviceable.
It's not serviceable. It's amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And you've built the weapons for Caleb Williams to continue. And then in a couple years when Keenan Allen, he's on the fringes, he's 34, do we really want to extend him or not? You have the perfect receiver room. You have Rome still 5th-year option rookie deal getting up there. Like, it's just absolutely perfect to me. Like I said, I think, the ceiling for Rome maybe isn't as high as it is for Neighbors or for Harrison, but the floor is right there, guys. I mean, I still think he is a Pro Bowl caliber player. Maybe not the All-Pro ceiling. I think he's like a B+, A- at everything. That's what Ben Solak said the other day. That's why I completely agree. B+, A- at everything. And you really can't go wrong with that. In a lot of other classes, he would have been wide receiver 1. So give me Rome Odunze, my last true blue chip prospect to an organization which has just completely lucked out in this draft. I think there's a chance they try to trade down here just because they have 4 picks in the top 100.
Yeah.
So that's looking rough. But I think when you can acquire 2 talents like Williams, like Rome, you can't complain there. So give me Rome Odunze there.
Yeah. So here are the JTS. The Jets are in a very weird spot because they're like, we are all in. We're signing Mike Williams. We're getting Tyron Smith to be our franchise tackle. Question mark, question mark. And I'm gonna keep going back to what Adam said. Like, what's really the point of just getting a, I don't know, Tulisa Fuanga here when you can go down a little bit, just get more draft capital because you might as well just build up the team, or you can say, what is positional value? And get the guy who is, I mean, he's been pretty much chalk to them the whole process, but I will keep the phone up for somebody who's like, who wants to I need a little bit of incentive to move down because it's kind of a perfect fit, this guy. But I will I'll keep an open mind.
Okay. I'm gonna hold the phone here. The Cincinnati Bengals are heavily thinking about it, but they're gonna hold the phone. They are gonna stick clear. They believe their guy is going to be there. The Colts also as well now thinking about it, but they were mostly looking to get Odunze, and so they're gonna hold the phone there. Yeah.
Well,
actually,
the
Cincinnati Bengals
will
offer T. Higgins.
Well, I mean, like football wise, it's like, yeah, you gotta take it, but also when you're
T. Higgins at a third.
Yeah, but like when you're the Jets and you are in like a weird situation with the cap, like you're gonna have to pay Sauce and Garrett Wilson in like 2 years. You can't really like just bring a boatload of cash out for T. Higgins. So we're gonna get another pass catcher who might as well be your slot receiver. His name is Brock Bowers. What? Oh my gosh. Okay. 2-time Mackey Award, which is best tight end. 2-time All-American, 3-time first-team All-SEC, 2-time national champion. His production was fine last year. 56 receptions, 714 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Missed some games.
It didn't have a complete, athletic testing, so no RAS. But tight end 1, it is not even close. Like their next best guy is maybe like Ben Sinnott or Jatavian Sanders or like Theo John. Like it's bad. It's a bad tight end class, but it's made up by Brock Bowers, who is just an elite receiver. I'm gonna call him a receiver now because I don't totally trust him as like a traditional tight end. Like he can probably hold his own, but when you're in a window with a 40-year-old quarterback who needs weapons beyond just receivers, because you've already got Elijah Moore, you've already got Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams, you already got Breece Hall in the building, and I would, in most other situations, be like, Tyron Smith has not been healthy for 16, 17 games in a minute. So from a pure football, like team building perspective, you're like, this is Fashanu or Fuanga or Latham. But when you are in this like 2 to 3 year window with Aaron Rodgers, you kind of have to get the best weapon for him within like that fits in. Like you don't just get a T. Higgins because you can. I mean, like you should, like it's definitely intriguing because Mike Williams, I think it was only a 1-year deal, but Brock Bowers, Yak Merchant, no, okay. He's a Yak monster actually. He's exactly what this offense needs to really, I guess, be complete, because that's sort of the one position that we've always been iffy on, and this really elevates them to what they could be if he plays more than like 5 minutes of actual football. So, yeah, Brock Bowers, New York Jet. I mean, it's pretty chalky, but it should be the pick. It probably will be, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and forth. I talked about how much I love this tackle class already. I'm not gonna, go on and on about that all night. And I do think, the weaknesses of the Jets on the line. I think I'm of the opinion it's probably a smarter investment, but at the same time,
it is smarter, but also
it's a need.
Yeah,
like,
you should if you have Brock Bowers available to you and you have a quarterback for 2 years at the most, you take the swing because if you're at the 10th pick, he won't be there by 15 at least. So
yeah.
Because we would have went to Indianapolis 100%. So
yeah.
All right.
Well, here we are. I finally get to pick. Oh, yeah, I guess I got the Falcons pick, but I'm back, ready to make some fun moves. So I had Minnesota, and Minnesota really, really wanted J.J. McCarthy. However,
but there's a better quarterback on the board. Whoa.
However, Denver made the world's worst trade to ever be established.
Yeah.
Go down the history books, in my opinion, because J.J. McCarthy blows. So here's my thing. Instead of getting a guy who hasn't played any film, like no film on him, barely touched the field.
Oh, Michael.
Why not draft a guy?
Michael.
Michael.
This is Mary Mims?
No.
that's what I was thinking. He's not getting on the field. But.
Why not draft the quarterback who's actually produced?
Yeah.
In multiple ways. Why not draft a quarterback who was a Heisman finalist? Why not draft a quarterback who I thought was going to be a first-round pick 3 years ago? Why not draft Michael Penix? Michael Penix is so much better than J.J. McCarthy. It's there. He is so accurate. He has beautiful arm strength. It's gorgeous. He's aggressive. He's everything you want a quarterback. Adam, I can't believe you have him as early second grade. I don't give a shit about it.
I changed that to mid-second.
It went down.
It went down.
I don't care about age. I don't care about any of it. He is.
And I changed
awesome.
him to quarterback 5.
Quarterback 5. You have McCarthy over him.
Oh my god.
I can't. He's awesome. I mean, he's just so good. He's so pro ready. I everything about him is amazing. I've gone on my tangent. I'm not dragging it out. Like
and it's definitely the better. Like if you can keep 23 and just get like another good defensive player, you get that 10 out of 10. Like I feel like it's a better football move because I'm not. I mean, you could say there's a reason I'm not a GM, but also I'm not trading 11 and 23 to get J.J. McCarthy. I'm just not doing that.
Oh, not at all.
No way. But also, Michael Penix, the one thing that concerns me about him is that it feels like a Hendon Hooker situation again, where it's just a balls to the wall, just air raid, just amazing offense. We're like, whoa, look at the throws. Wow. And I love. No, I'm saying I love Michael Penix, but that's where I'm just sort of a little concerned because with how I mean you could say the same thing about Jaden Daniels. It's like when he has so many good options at his disposal, how is he going to be with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison? So I mean. 11 is a perfect, the Vikings are in a perfect spot to take a quarterback like Michael Penix, so I get it. But at the same time, I have no idea how it's going to be when he's facing Green Bay with their revamped roster, or Detroit, 4 times a year combined. So
I totally get that, but at the same time, I feel like he's one of the most pro-ready quarterbacks in this class, maybe besides Caleb and Drake May. Maybe he's up there with Drake May. I mean, he's just so smart with the ball. He just does everything right. I get he's old, but at the same time, that might be the perfect spot for
Yeah,
Well,
it probably is a perfect spot, all things considered. Yeah.
So
for me.
I think it's the perfect spot. I just don't like Michael Penix, man. I've been looking at these charts again, and the accuracy of Penix in a lot of these zones, besides the deep ball and these dump offs, even the deep ball at times. I think he was a large product of this Washington offense, a large product of the receiver group and the offensive line he had around him. He's going to have 2 tackles, I think, drafted in the first 90 picks.
Yep.
He's going to have Odunze.
3 receivers in the top 100, probably.
3 receivers in the top 100, probably. And a coach who is now the Seattle Seahawks coach. So if he's going to fit anywhere, I think that's the fit, to be honest.
Okay, but now, if you're really worried about him having such great weapons, he's now going to Kevin O'Connell, I think is a good head coach, and he's going to Justin Jefferson, who's the best receiver in football.
I know.
Going to Jordan Addison.
And he has very good offensive line.
If I'm looking for the ceiling, if I'm looking for a ceiling raiser, I'm not going to Michael Penix. That's my point.
But there's no ceiling raisers on the board at quarterback.
So I'm waiting. So I'm waiting. That's what I'm doing. But I get it. I get it. Who's my quarterback?
Sam Darnold, baby.
Not in 2024. He's not.
I'll roll with him for a year over this, or I'll take Nixon on day 2. I have significant concerns about Penix at the next level.
I think,
and I would rather. It's the same as McCarthy. It's the same as McCarthy.
But for completely different reasons.
Yeah, for completely.
I just think he's a super high floor.
I think the opposite.
Yeah, he's just good at football. Like he's just a pure good passer. He's got great vision. He reads what he needs to read perfectly fine. Is that the tape proves everything I'm saying?
I just don't think so, man.
You're gonna look at you're gonna tell me the accuracy in those 3 game stretch in the middle of the season.
It's not even the 3-game stretch. It's the course of the season, and then you got to worry about the injuries too. On top of it, we haven't even talked about the injuries yet. So,
he hasn't been injured. This is what I hate. This is the argument.
He has 2 or 3 career-ending injuries.
It's been 3 years.
He has not been injured in 3 years.
He
played every game.
It's the same as Latu. These are career-ending injuries.
He played every game in Washington.
I'm significantly concerned with him at 11. Just like I'm significantly concerned with McCarthy at 5. Don't get me wrong, but I think
it's going to happen.
I think McCarthy's nailed in at 5. I'm not sure Penix is nailed in as a first-round prospect. So if I can avoid it, I would. But I understand from a Minnesota perspective. Yeah. I understand.
I mean,
I understand from the Minnesota perspective. I don't understand the injury concerns. I understand 4 years ago he got really hurt. That was 4 years ago. He had
3 years ago
against India. Years ago. Sorry, and he played every game at Washington.
And 2 years ago.
He had his first year at Washington, and last year was his second year at Washington.
There are 3 serious injuries. 2 of them were pretty much career ending.
Did they end his career?
Yeah, no. That's why he's here at 11, baby. Ooh.
In his career, where was he? He was the Heisman runner-up and should have been the Heisman, in my opinion. Well, so no, it's just not true. Yeah, but he played 2 fully healthy seasons, so I really don't understand the problem.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Quessy, I'm just waiting to 23 and taking Terry and Arnold and calling it a day. But to be honest, I feel like some team will be like,
well, that's why when you were saying the Raiders, this feels like a Raiders pick.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure Quessy's ready to make a Raiders pick, but at the same time, there are all these reports that Quessy's job is, his feet are at the fire right now.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't. It's if they end up not lucking out.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Jefferson's gonna skedaddle over to some better options. So.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do everything to get to 3 through 5, though. They really are. Yeah.
I just think this is a perfect fit, and for any team that Michael Penix could go to that's not in the top 3, this is the perfect fit. And could I have gotten him at 23? Probably, but you know what? I'm feeling fun today, so I'm drafting him.
I feel like Seattle will probably get him.
But he's a first-round quarterback.
Yeah. All right. So I think you're up again, actually.
I am up again.
You are up again.
And the Chargers.
I have the Chargers.
They are a weird one because they had their receiver one right now is Quentin Johnston, and we know how that went last year. So
You're right, but I love this receiver class.
yeah,
And I like it. I like it a little bit more than I like the tackle class. So I'm more content drafting receiver round 2 or round 3. I'm more content drafting a tackle right now because the Chargers O-line outside of Rashawn Slater is terrible. See what I'm going to do? Rashawn Slater's a pretty good left tackle, right? Are we in agreement?
yeah,
I'm going to put a great guy at right tackle, too.
yep.
I'm putting Olu at right tackle.
Woo.
I don't like
Okay.
Adam's face. I pretty much flipped a coin here between him and Latham.
Okay.
They're both great,
We'll
but
get
this
into
was
it.
the coin they landed on. They're awesome. I don't mind it. I don't have him as tackle 1, but
Yeah. Let me just check the ages real quick for. Yeah, so he's gonna be 21 for like most of the season. That's unbelievable.
I know he's struggling. Yeah, I know he's struggling at times.
Yeah, it's not that's not an issue. Like he's already most of the way there. So
Yeah, he's just all around great, and it could have been Latham, and I wouldn't have had a problem with it either. But Olu's just the guy I landed on. He's good at everything. He was a consensus All-American. He's awesome. He's a great tackle. He's gonna go great, and I think this is such a John Harbaugh pick because John Harbaugh is, I just think Michigan. I just think about Michigan.
yeah,
I just think, how can you make this team as much like Michigan as possible? Yeah. He's gonna, go out there and try to get a good running back in the draft somewhere.
his name is Blake Corum, but that's happening. But
Yeah.
Blake, you're going to try to establish the run game and also keep Justin Herbert protected. So, this is a great way to do it. I don't really like taking any interior O-lineman either this high. So this is where we landed. I like it. I'm happy with it. But if they also drafted, J.C. Latham, I'd be totally happy with it too. It's just the way it fell.
Yeah. So I like this pick a lot, and I agree with a lot of what you said. I think my biggest thing about Olu is the athleticism, obviously. You see that relative athletic score. You can see it all around the field at Penn State. Just a tremendous athlete, the strength, the versatility. He's absolutely incredible. I think if you're looking for a solid starting right tackle, specifically going into next year, ready to go, I think Latham is the most ready guy. So if I think that's specifically the purpose, I would go Latham, but I think the upside on Fashanu is higher. That's why I have him as my tackle 2 over Latham, and so I agree with it. But that's what I would say.
Well, yeah, and also I don't really think they're in a position right now where they're going to be in a win now mode this year. So I think it's worth, you don't really need Latham at a point where you just take Olu, let him develop for a year or 2 while you're still going to be not great at football as a team. And then when you are in 2-3 years, when you're in a win now mode and you're, at the peak of Justin Herbert's powers with, whatever moves you make in the next 2 years, you have one of the best right tackles in football possible.
Yeah.
And John Harbaugh is a great team builder, so I have zero doubt that this team could be.
Yeah, fortunately for them, they can afford to pass on receiver because at least a couple guys will be there on day 2. I wouldn't feel comfortable with taking Brian Thomas here personally. My God, hiring Greg Roman might be the stupidest thing they could have possibly done.
Ever.
Because, I mean, I guess it works with Lamar, but that is there. Him and Justin Herbert could not be more different quarterbacks.
Yep.
You need to give him weapons. There's a reason why he succeeded with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen for the first couple years of his career. When his number 1 receiver is Quentin Johnston, who has brick hands, and Darius Davis, is he a partial returner? It is very bad. But if that's how Greg Roman runs an offense, you might as well take an elite tackle because you already need one. So, and I don't expect them to trade down again so they can get a receiver at the value that they want.
Yeah,
because this is good value for Olu. So that's
I'll just say, I think that's what makes different. I know I traded up with the Broncos, but I think what makes the Vikings package so appealing to the Chargers at 5, which is
'Cause
why
they
in
need
my
a
own
lot.
personal mock draft is because they need line and they need receiver and they need corner really badly.
Yeah.
So I think if Minnesota's willing to throw 23 in, I think that is
Yeah, it's a
perfect
match
for
game.
Los Angeles, and I think that's what they end up doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that there.
Yeah. So you're the Raiders, and I don't know if to put on my like go Raiders mode and just do something dumb and be like, actually, guys, it's Jordan Morgan or Kingsley Suamataia. You never saw it coming, but that's the whole. That's our strategy. But I'm gonna keep the phones open for a little just because there are so many spots that could go. Like I think corner, all of them are still here. That would be very appealing for them. Tackle, other than the top two, you can still get Latham and Mims and Fuanga and Fautano if you want to keep him outside. Like outside of tackle and corner, I think that's about the only place I'd be comfortable really taking at this spot at this value. So
Yeah, I mean, I think with every corner still on the board, I'm not calling up.
yeah,
I'm not calling up. I'm good.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's got like the plug or anything, but Brett Coleman did his mock draft, I think, yesterday. And the first corner went, and it was Quinyon Mitchell to the Eagles. I'm like, oh my God, Quinyon Mitchell's an Eagle. When it was at 22, I'm like, what? Like, we didn't trade up for him. So I will make the executive decision to overvalue corner again and be like, remember, no, I love the corners. Don't get me wrong. But remember when we were like, Christian Gonzalez, top 10 player, easy. And then he went 17. Yeah. Like, that's why I am banging the table for not Kool-Aid. Oh, sorry. It's his teammate, my fault. His name is Terran Arnold. He's sick. They've needed a corner one for so long. It's felt like forever since they've had a true corner one. And Antonio Pierce, I think you'd love him. He's not the production guy that you. I mean, actually, five picks isn't nothing, but I feel like he's like the Sauce Gardner type where he's not going to be like your Deron Blands or your Xavier Howards where he's like, oh my God, he has like 10 picks. Oh my God, he's amazing. But he's just a professional clamper. They threw the ball at him because they're like, oh, we can't throw a Kool-Aid. We got to throw a Terran Arnold because he was almost like, he was pretty much expendable for Alabama, like at the beginning of last season. They're like, we can go without him. And then when they threw at him, they're like, oh my God, this guy's actually insane. So Terran Arnold's the pick. He probably can be productive, but he's just the guy where it won't show up on the stat sheet how good he is because he's just going to clamp your receiver one. It's going to be a little difficult. Actually, it's not going to be that difficult because suddenly in a wild change of events, the AFC West is suddenly the worst receiver division in football. Mm-hmm. So it couldn't be a better spot for him because he gets the red carpet rolled out for him because he's not really challenged by anybody in that room, to be honest. And it's a position need. It's a perfect landing spot for a defensive coach. Like, I can't really see them going. Actually, I can see them going somewhere else, but this is the perfect pick for them, in my opinion.
Completely agree. He's awesome. He's my DB1, and I love Antonio Pierce, and I think he's going to have a great defense. I mean, I think they're going to be a good defense regardless because they just were a great defense last year, especially in the second half with Antonio Pierce. So having a good corner on like the entirety of the year this year is going to really make a difference for them, I think. So.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm gonna again pound the table for my tackles. I feel like I'm
they should go tackle, but
I get it. Yeah, I get it. I think he's, as an athlete, just by far the best corner in this class. Like you said, they challenged him a lot. He responded. Kool-Aid maybe had more statistical success, but you watch any of the film, it's Terry and Arnold who was the true shutdown corner there, and I have all the faith in the world that he's going to develop into such. Really, really strong pick for them.
Yep. All right. So we're at 14 with
I am back.
the Saints.
New Orleans Saints.
Speaking of tackles,
Nah.
Brian Thomas. Let's lock it in.
I'll throw a bit of a curveball here. There's 3 positions on the offense that would upgrade.
Ring. We got a lot of rings.
What do you want?
Actually, we're going to put the phone down.
I hung up on you anyway.
Okay, there's no need to trade up a couple spots. Yeah.
There's 3 positions on the offense I would upgrade. Quarterback, and you're locked into that Derek Carr deal, and I
I was about to say, oh my God, no bonus.
Anyway, so I'd upgrade receiver, and I don't really feel comfortable taking Brian Thomas in the top 15, so I'm not going to. And then I'd upgrade tackle, and as good as the tackle class I think this is, I think there's one more need that they have. God awful that they have, and it's on defense. I don't mind the linebackers. I don't mind the secondary. I don't mind Cameron Jordan still at 87 years old or however old this man is.
Yeah.
The interior line is god awful. I read the depth chart a few minutes ago. I don't even know who their 2 starting D tackles are. So I'm totally gonna butcher the name. I've never been gonna say. I'm taking Jerson Newton.
I think he goes by Johnny, which makes it a lot easier.
He does go by Johnny.
I've taken Johnny Newton.
Wow.
Yeah. Shout out Lamar. There's Johnny.
He is so good.
He's sick. Yeah.
I know he's undersized.
Don't care. That's how they're built now.
That's how they're built now.
Yeah.
And they're awesome. So he's going to the Saints. He's gonna eat up because he's gonna eat up the run game because they don't have any other interior defensive linemen. There's nothing. He's going to get, even if he's bad, he's going to get time to play. So I think for being a D tackle, he's pretty good at rushing the quarterback. Obviously, he's going to stuff up the run game. Obviously, double teams are going to be a problem, possibly because he's a bit undersized. But they're not. Offensive lines aren't going to double team this guy. Every game when Cam Jordan is, playing as a 5 tech on the other side of the line. So I'm not worried. He's great. I like the pick. So. That's what we're doing because this is my mock.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I like Newton more than most people, actually. Even though I gave him a late first-round grade, I think he's really solid. He has a lot of upside despite the size, like you guys said. I'm still pounding the table for my tackles, but I understand. So yeah.
All right.
All right.
15.
Colts at 15. Chris Ballard is sitting here and wishing it was 3 years ago when he still needed a tackle, but he does not need one right now. So he's gonna lay off the phones for that. Chris Ballard has 2 needs that are really big here, I would say, and that's corner and receiver. Now there's a lot of smoke that.
Well, the issue is
Jim
ring.
Irsay there's a ring.
Well, the issue is ring. Too bad Frank Reich's not in the building anymore, but Howie's on the phone offering 22, 53, and then you throw me a third in exchange for that, and 15.
Chris Ballard declines.
Yeah. Chris Ballard doesn't care. Come on, he's
No.
Jim Irsay's calling for his head.
Yeah. Chris Ballard understands. Jim Irsay is pounding for a receiver here. Jim Irsay loves what he saw in the Brian Thomas workout. He thinks that could be the future of this team. And Chris Ballard understands. But receiver's never been a position which this team really values. And this team has a lot of holes at the cornerback position. So Chris Ballard is going to go with who he thinks has the potential to be the best corner in this draft and who he thinks is the best corner in this draft on their board. So I'm going to take Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback out of Toledo.
Man. And Howie's devastated.
I know Howie's devastated. I understand. I love Quinyon Mitchell. I'll just start by saying that. He is probably my personal favorite corner prospect in this class. Look at the intangibles, man. 6'8", 195 pounds.
That's an O, actually.
He is not 6'8". You did this.
Sorry. But
he's second best athletic scorer.
He's a big guy. Yeah, actually, that doesn't really make much sense. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
6'8",
Kevin Durant
1.5.
wingspan. Yeah, 6'8" corner. 6'8" corner. Look at the athletic score. A lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, he played at Toledo." Guess what? This guy
played Ball
dominated at
State.
Toledo. Okay.
If people who are using that as an excuse in the year of our Lord 2024 just do not know
Yep.
ball, bro.
This guy was a lockdown corner at Toledo. This guy let up nothing at Toledo. The mechanics are incredible. There's some little things, especially on double moves, that you got to fix. But the physicality, you can play him at anywhere as far as corners. He can be your 1, he can be your 2, he can be your slot corner. He is just the perfect package. I think he has the highest ceiling out of anybody in this draft. I also think he could have the highest floor. That's how special he is as a prospect. I think he's going to be the first corner to go off the board, in my opinion, just with how he skyrocketed up boards over the past couple months after how he did at the Senior Bowl. Great pick for the Colts. Great fit for the Colts. I think they're thrilled to have him fall here.
Too bad he can't lock down Stephon Diggs. What?
Or
Who said that?
Tank Dell or Nico Collins, but
Who said that?
So you were referencing a certain position group for the past 15, 20 minutes. And the Seahawks are like, hey, we got Charles Cross. He's our left tackle for the future. We spent a top 10 pick on him. We're not going to go away from him. But right tackle, you got some guys. You've got,
Abraham Lucas.
Yes, you do. This is the facts. I'm looking Fuanga or Latham, but I'm banging the table for Latham. I think he's fantastic. He's my third-ranked tackle, so he's behind Olu and all. But that's not an indictment against Latham because those are two great players as well. So I think easy plug-and-play right tackle for Geno Smith / Sam Howell. And I think that's just it's another chalky pick like I did with the Jets with Brock Bowers, but like, come on, like if he's there, you got to take him. It's one of those sort of deals. Like he's at least like a top. Let me see where I had him on my board. Give me a sec. I had him at 12. He's here at 16. You might as well take him. He's really, really good.
He's really young too.
Yeah, like
that says he is my tackle 3 with a mid-first grade.
Yeah.
So I've done more research since this talk with me, but yeah, he's awesome. Love him. He's up there with Olu for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he might.
I don't think it's much of a difference between them.
I mean, right now, I think he might just be better. I think Olu will develop into a better player, but where the Seahawks are right now, I feel like in a kind of win now mode, Latham falling to them is like.
Yeah, it's a dream.
And Latham can also play the interior, so if.
Yeah, but I feel like right tackle is more valuable, so yeah, we'll take that. We're back.
All right.
Okay, so
can I just say one thing about Latham?
Yeah.
I think there's been a lot of to him being the first offensive lineman off the board because he is just so good at specifically right tackle, and that becomes a need. He's probably the most pro-ready lineman of all of them. So, I think he's going to go earlier than here, and I think that's a great pick for Seattle if it's done perfectly.
Yeah. I mean, it was chalky, but we're going to move on to number 17. That's annoying. I need to silence these.
Okay. Jacksonville Jaguars. And because I need them to not be good, I'm taking Bo Nate. Not kidding.
I mean, it's a appropriate year for Trevor Lawrence, guys.
It is, which is going to lead me to this pick. The Jags corners aren't great.
No, sir.
Backs are terrible. Ronald Darby is their corner 1.
Whoa! Don't talk down on
No.
Super Bowl champion Ronald Darby.
Linebackers are solid. D line's decent.
Yeah, that's not a spot where I'm concerned about.
Just looking it over, Wide receiver.
Again, well, actually, Doug Peterson's in a building right now, so ring again because he's getting antsy with these corners. So,
All right, who's ring?
It's Howie Roseman of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Actually,
it'll be 22, and okay, let me see the Jags pick situation. Because I know
very open looking at the teams who are drafting.
Okay, so it'll be. Let me get a list. Okay, it'll be 22 and 53 for 17 and 96, and you give me like a future like 5 or something for my problems.
Answer.
Me?
Yeah.
No, the other guy on the phone. Yes, you.
Yes. Monty Ossenford is calling.
I don't care who's calling. Just tell me what you're going to give me.
The Arizona Cardinals.
I know who. I know.
He's going to give you 27.
Oh, that's a big drop.
And
no.
66.
No.
27 and 66.
Nope. Can't drop down that far.
And what's the verdict on the other one? The other offer?
I accepted it. I accepted it. I had
okay, bang. So, Roseman's on the board. He's here, and he's like, "Oh, Mary Swims is here. Well, I've been waiting. This is what my entire career has waited on." But there's a certain Caucasian cornerback on the board from Iowa, and Adam's hurt. But my God. We need a corner so bad that we're gonna have to trade up for him. And I don't think I would have been super happy with Kool-Aid at 22. So I like Cooper DeJean quite a bit. I know with adding Chauncey, it makes it a little iffy because he projects better as a safety, but if you want a really good zone corner, his name is Cooper DeJean. I do not trust him in man, my God. But he is, he's literally the most athletic corner in the class. Like, that's where I'm not all that concerned about his positional, I guess. It's not really concerned, it's just his uncertainty of where he's going to play. But, unanimous All-American, two-time first team All Big Ten. It's like Big 20 at this point, whatever. But he'll be 21 at the time of camp. He is a ball hawk. We've been looking for one for a while. I don't love the pick, but if you don't trade up, I feel like he'll be gone. So that's. It's not really amazing GMing, but it's sort of necessary considering how unbelievably dire the corner situation is right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, 17's a little rich for me. I should have changed that. I have him corner 3. That was pretty early in the process. But I love DeJean. I think, like you said, really solid zone corner, can play safety, probably the most versatile athlete in this draft. I worry still about the line depth on this Eagles team. And I know it's not the sexy pick. I know it's not the biggest need. But it's
way more on brand, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
If I were trading up to 17, it would be for Fautano or Graham Barton. Because it's their MO, but...
There's so many talented linemen here, and I think at this point I'd rather have them than give up those assets to get a guy like DeJean. Okay. It hurts because I really like DeJean, but I could have waited. But I get it. I understand.
Yeah, well, personally, I think just we did trade the second to get like a mid-ish third, but
yeah,
I think with the 2 seconds, you're way more likely to have a good tackle that like good guard, like maybe even like a Zach Frazier if you want to go center, but you're way more likely to get a good lineman than corner because I think this class at corner is pretty top heavy. I feel like once you get past Kool-Aid, it gets very murky. Like,
Sure.
are we really gonna take like Ennis Rakestraw at 50? Are we gonna take TJ Tampa? Like,
no. That's a good point. You're basically giving up at that point.
yeah, because I would much rather get a known commodity at corner than just roll the dice at 50 or 53 when they will all the first round caliber. Because I don't think there are some. I don't really think there are early second guys in the class. I think it's like it's so when you have two aging corners who are not getting any faster or any better, you might as well get the most athletic one in the class. Perez isn't the be all end all, but he has produced. I don't know exactly how Vic Fangio is going to work him, but I'll take him. Like if he's the pick tomorrow, I'll have no objections at all. If he's at 22, I'll be thrilled. I'll be doing backflips. No, I can't do a backflip. But I would have no issue with Cooper DeJean on the team.
Yeah.
And I feel like since Arnold and Mitchell are gone, that's kind of like a pivot. Like it's DeJean or bust, to be honest, unless you want to like be like wait to 22, hope to God that Kool-Aid's there, but like,
well, my thing is,
I don't know.
It probably won't happen in this mock, but I think Wiggins and Kool-Aid, I think there's a chance they could even fall out of the first round with how it's looking right now.
Because the frame is real concerning.
The frame is real bad. And he's actually the guy who I had at corner 3, and just, seeing how he tested was an issue. So I'm a little worried about that. I think he could fall out. I think that would be the answer.
Yeah.
If I'm just, but we'll say. Yeah.
You guys care too much about this stupid damn. Go watch the damn film.
Yeah.
I did. And I liked it.
I like it. Like if he's there at 22, I'll be like, okay, fine. I have no I have him at I think he's corner 4.
I'm talking about Kool-Aid more than I'm talking about Nate Wiggins.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking more for both of them, who I think should be off the board in the top 25. But it really, like the way this mock is going, you look at this feels like a top heavy, but like top heavy for the first round deep class, and then a very deep tackle class. We have 3 corners taken off the board, and 3 tackles. So I
feel like the tackles will go, but just with team need. Like where did they go? They went to Jacksonville, right? They went to they went to Jacksonville. They went to.
Haven't had Jacksonville yet.
Vegas, and Philly. Like those are all corner teams.
It was Indianapolis, not.
Okay, sorry. Well, they're Indy, Philly, and Vegas are all like, we need a corner. My God, please help. And the Eagles were kind of just the odd man out. So, oh no, we had to get Cooper DeJean. Like,
it's a great pick.
That's what you have to do. Yeah, it's not something you should be really bummed about, personally. But
yeah. All right.
So we're here at 18 with the Bungles.
So the Bungles are jumping for joy, and the Bungles have had a rough couple of months.
Yeah, they're about to lose their top edge rusher and receiver too. So
so that's a lot. That's a lot for teams to handle. It's been a rough road here for Cincinnati, but the top 2 guys on my board are right here.
Whoa!
So that's crazy. That's wild. This is such a win. So on top of the Bungles being here, I'd like to take a moment to ship T. Higgins to the rest of the teams sitting around while I have the floor. Is anyone interested in a little T. Higgins for a first round pick?
I feel like no.
No?
Vikings are coming up.
The Vikings want T. Higgins?
We're going to make it so easy for Michael Penix.
Okay. You're sold. Minnesota Vikings.
That's
You get
23.
T. You get 23. Okay.
Then y'all get like a
So,
6.
I will take 23 for the Bungles, and we could not be more happy with that.
Because you still get 17. So.
Yep. So
And that-
here at
Yeah,
18. Yep.
You get whatever you want, and I have my weapons for Michael
You have
Penix to ensure
Yep.
that he makes you
You're
wrong.
perfect. My God.
That was great.
So
That was
that
awesome.
was great. I love that we did that. That was great.
Dude, that made me happy.
That made me happy too. That Minnesota offense is going to be really explosive. I mean, we should just take a sec to talk about that. That Minnesota offense is going to be absolutely explosive. That has potential. You know, that's the perfect fit for Penix. And I know I moaned and groaned about Penix, but if he's put in a situation like that, it would be really hard for him not to succeed. He would have to really try to not succeed.
Yeah, you have to
So
actively suck. But
yeah.
yeah. So
Now the Bengals have 20 and 18.
yeah,
23 and 18.
and 23. So you can
Yep.
get edge and receiver done with because Trey Hendrickson's gone and receivers gone too. Like it's Jamar Chase. Tyler Boyd's not on the team right now. So
Yeah.
unless you're a big Andre Isolis guy from Princeton, but
Yep. But guess what? I'm doing none of that. The Bengals' two best players are at neither of those positions on top of their boards. They're at big positions of need, though. And with this pick, I think I'm going to go with the one who I think is more likely to come off the board sooner rather than later. I'm still shocked that he hasn't come off the board yet. They're odds saying he's going to be the first defensive player off the board. I think there's a good shot at it. I am going Byron Murphy the second.
yeah, just lost CJ Reader, bro. It's a big loss.
Yep. He is my defensive tackle 1. He has soared up my big board after watching the film. Just big, strong, athletic guy, and the tape shows it. Look at that man. Look at that massive man celebrating. You can't tell me that's not going to be a star at the NFL level. I know it says late first round grade. Put that up at a mid first round grade. I don't know why I said that. Absolute stud here. I think there's a lot of potential here. He, at an elite level, at a Big 12 level, showed he had the power and the moves to be a force. The mechanics are really solid. He's just going to continue to grow and develop. He's probably the most complete defensive player who's not in the secondary of all of these players in this draft. I love me some Byron Murphy. I think the Bengals are thrilled to get him here at 18, and he's going to completely revamp that defense.
He's awesome. He's great. Him and Newton, I go back and forth on who my D tackle one is. They're both awesome. So I have nothing things to think about Byron Murphy. So good move for the Bengals. I assume you're going to go wide receiver at 23. So
I mean,
we'll find out how the board shakes out.
Yeah, they're all there. But okay, I'm up here with the Rams. And they're like, this Adam Dead guy, he's really a philosopher when it comes to talking about offensive line. But it's not a tackle. Sorry. I mean, he played tackle. He can play tackle, but he's generally projected as a guard. But his name is Troy Fautanu. He is he played tackle. He played tackle at Washington, but he projects better as a guard for most people. So he's a pick. Athletic monster. I mean, I think it's inflated a little bit because his RAS is lower as a tackle than it is a guard. But if you look at him as a guard, it's pretty good. 6'3", 317. I mean, I think the threshold right there, I would say like if he was like 6'4" higher, I'd be like, make him my tackle, please. But I think if you want to play him inside or outside, take your pick. I feel like he'll be good either way. He is very solid. 2 sacks, 21 total pressures all season for that national championship runner-up Husky team. I mean, if I were the brass at the Rams, I'd be like, Byron Murphy was right there. He was right there. We needed him, but
this is the smart pick.
Yeah, but when offensive line has been a revolving door for so long, you kind of have to make that pick. I mean, I definitely liked what they did last year with Byron Young and they had two guys last year. Yeah, they had D tackle and a defensive line last year, who were both good. And with the corner situation, it's not good. I'm just gonna say it, but you need to bolster the line in some way. I know they spent big money on who was it? Spent a ton of money for a guard, but it doesn't matter because
Kevin Dotson.
Yeah. Rams. Yeah, it was Kobe Turner's the other guy, by the way. He had a very good rookie season. Jonah Jackson from Detroit, but yeah, you might as well. I mean, your starting left tackle this year is Alaric Jackson.
Not good.
Play him a tackle, bro. That's the move.
He can play both.
Yeah, you can play guard, but with Dotson and Jackson, Jonah Jackson both taking up those spots, you might as well play him a tackle. So, even though the graphics say interior offensive line, a lot of outlets say interior offensive line, we're drafting less tackle. So, yeah.
I think about the graphic for the sheet that we have for this, might just have him now as another lineman.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think he's best at guard, and in my opinion, he can play all five. He can play center too. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
The Bengals front office is hysterically crying right now. I'll tell you that right now. I'm in there. They are sobbing. It is a bad situation. We need to call an ambulance right now. They need some serious help because Troy Fautanu was that other player on their board. They were so hoping, they were praying to the football gods that he would fall to 23, and he is not there. So versatile, so great. I think he's a fringe top 10 player on my big board. I think he could go even higher than that. I love me some Troy Fautanu, and somebody get the Bengals front office some help for the love of God.
It's gonna get worse for them.
Oh God, Michael, don't do it to him.
Good morning from Pittsburgh.
They need tackle.
They need a tackle really badly. That's what everybody says they should do. Unfortunately,
also they need a receiver, low key.
Unfortunately, you know me. And, I think I said this in the mock last year that never got updated when I was doing the Cowboys pick. I like sexy. All right? And, linemen are very sexy, but wide receivers are even sexier. So I'm going to not listen to any of the critics and to the Cincinnati Bengals who have traded down to 23 and presumably are going to draft Brian Thomas, who are going to be the replacement for T. Higgins. Is now...
that's the home run pick. Yeah.
Draft just disappeared. They might forfeit pick 23 now. Let's actually talk about Brian Thomas, though. He can play anywhere on the field, which I think is he play XYZ. He's great. He can develop into one of the better receivers in this class. Obviously he played behind Malik Neighbors, so we really weren't able to see true flashes of his potential. And I don't really know in the first year with Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. Mostly Russell Wilson that we're able to see his potential, but that doesn't matter because what's going to matter is as long as he's just able to get open and he does his thing, then other teams are going to realize that. I don't really know where I'm going with this. I can't put it into words, but as long as he does what he does, he's going to be fine. He's an awesome wide receiver. I don't know why any of us have him as wide receiver 3 over Ruma Dunze.
We do?
That's what it said.
That is my fault. That's my fault. He's 4 across the board. My fault.
He's 4 across the board. Yeah. He's great. I love him. He's also. I think he would be. He has the potential. If Malik Neighbors was not at LSU, he could have been the wide receiver 1 on this board because he would have just had 1,800 yards, 1,900 yards this year at LSU if Malik Neighbors wasn't there. Now Malik Neighbors was there. So, but I think second team All SEC was too low for him. Although I guess Luke Verburden was really good at Missouri this year, so maybe I'll take that back. But Brian Thomas is just one of those guys. He doesn't really have many weaknesses. I know the footwork isn't perfect, but I don't care.
Yeah, okay.
Who cares? He's good. That's what matters, right?
Yeah, I think there's a big difference between Odunze, Harrison, Neighbors, and him. I think there's a big drop off, but I still think a great receiver, and I think. We're talking about the sexy pick. I think it's a smart pick too, because guess what? I don't want George Pickens as my wide receiver 1 going into
Why?
Sundays. I don't. And who's 2? Allen Robinson?
Calvin
Like,
Austin.
Calvin Austin the third.
Calvin Austin.
He's like as tall as one of my. Oh, yeah.
So
it's actually Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
Who's fine.
True. Who's fine. Still. Slam dunk pick. Love it for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And the Bengals have now exited the draft.
The Bengals, yep. The Bengals have ended as a franchise. It's okay. They've called it rats. Joe Burrow is going into the lottery. All right. I think I'm on at 21. Miami Dolphins, for years and years and years now, have kind of went sexy, we could say. They paid a lot of money to Tyreek Hill, paid a lot of money to Jalen Waddle. No, sorry, not just drafted Jalen Waddle. I haven't paid him yet.
They're about to.
They're about to. Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips. This is very sexy. We like this. Okay.
You better pay Tua, and that's not going to be very sexy. But
that will be very unsexy. We don't like that. But sitting here at 21, we have a lot of options. There's definitely a sexy option because
Christian
two
Wilkins
of my. Huh?
No, I'm saying Christian Wilkins is gone. So if you want one of those inside-outside guys.
Yeah.
I forgot Christian Wilkins is a Raider. Oh, my God.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh,
Two
my
of my
that Raiders team.
top 15 picks. Go ahead. Christian Wilkins, a Raider, yeah.
Sorry, that was just me forgetting.
No,
I just had a brain.
I know, it's crazy. They paid him a shit ton of money, too. It's ridiculous.
He deserved it.
He deserved it. He did deserve it. That's true.
Smart dog.
They could go sexy here. Or they could just kind of play this straight up and trust their development system. And I think that's the move. I think the move is moving on from sexy and going to smart. And so right here, I'm going to take, you know what? I changed my mind. I might go sexy. I'm going back and forth here, guys. I'm really struggling here. This is tough.
You have 5 seconds. Or I lose interest.
All right. We're going sexy. Latu, edge rusher out of UCLA is getting taken here. We know about the edge rusher depth that the Miami Dolphins have. And we know that they need to protect Tua Tagovailoa. I acknowledge all of those things. And so I was really close to taking Amarius Mims here. I think Amarius Mims is pretty far away from starting, so that's an issue there. I don't know that he would be an impact maker right away, but I think the development curve would eventually get there. I'm also not sold on Latu. You can see I have him as my edge 3. I think there's kind of a cap on his ceiling. I'm going to be honest. I think, some of the size stuff is great, but he's not the best finesse finisher. He kind of has 2 kind of pass rush moves and is not a great defender against the rush, and that's about it. But he compares a lot to another guy who's on the Miami Dolphins, and that's Jalen Phillips. And he compares a lot in that way that he would fit perfectly next to Bradley Chubb. My comp for him is Jalen Phillips. And guess what? Jalen Phillips doesn't stay healthy, and neither does Bradley Chubb. So I think at this point, you go best player available, you take a shot. I think there are people who have Latu as edge 1. It's really surprising to see him here. And so I think if he's here for Miami, I think they do it. I think they're kicking themselves a little bit. I think they're like, maybe we should have taken Mims. But I think it's the right move. Best player available here.
All right. I like it. Yep. If I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, which I am, I'm doing backflips in the draft room because the guy I was going to draft at 17 is available at 23. And I got compensation. And the Bengals are they've just exploded the draft house now. You mentioned Amarius Mims, who's pretty good, but he's far away from starting, right? But there's another tackle on the board who is ready to start. And that's just where the Jaguars are right now. They need to protect.
Oh, my God. Fuaga was there.
Yes, he was, and he just got drafted by the Jaguars.
I didn't think about that. I forgot he was even there. Oh, my God, Michael Corleone.
And it's also Trent Baalke, so I don't blame you at all for making that pick. This is a realistic draft. We are experts. Trent Baalke would deliberately avoid the shiny shiny toys right in front of his face. So
I completely forgot he was
he
there.
did it with Aiden Hutchinson. He'll do it with
Yep.
Talisa.
Well, I guess it works either way because the Jaguars probably would have taken a lot too. That's a great pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe he's on the board still.
Yep.
I can't believe Athan picked Fatanu over him. I can't. Fatanu's been really good, but I like Fuaga a bit better. I mean, he's just good at everything. He kind of gets overshadowed in a class that has Olu and Joe All. I understand there's a little bit of question to pass protection, but I feel like that's something that can easily be fixed. Just fundamentals. But I don't mind it. He's a big ass dude, and he's going to be the guy protecting Trevor Lawrence for the next 8 years. This is exactly what the Jaguars need. They need somebody who's going to help protect Trevor Lawrence now, and that O-line's terrible. It's also going to help, Travis Etienne get a lot more production at the run game. I hope, really utilize more of that outside run, which we saw so much of it at Clemson. The slip screens and the outside, the tosses, just ways that they really can get him, more involved. Yeah, Clemson geek right here, But yeah, great. It's a great pickup for the Jaguars.
Great pickup. Wish I did it. Bruiser at right tackle. Great at left too. I can't believe I just did that. The Miami Dolphins are kicking themselves in the foot. Bolatu's a really good player.
And the Bengals just,
The Bengals.
Everything.
The Bengals are in their bag right now, yeah.
The Bengals are actually okay, and I'll tell you why. The Bengals' biggest need, I still believe, is offensive tackle. It's protecting Joe Burrow. And on both sides, right now, the Bengals have some giant dudes. It's been a big headline that the Bengals tackles are the biggest in the league for a reason. They have from the Patriots, whose name I'm now forgetting, playing at right tackle, and they have Orlando Brown playing at left tackle.
Didn't they just get Trent? Didn't they just get Trent Brown?
Yeah, Trent Brown. That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what from the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
So having those big dudes, and then let's say we add
Interior
another giant dude who's a little far away, but could still make a difference.
Yeah, because you can't guarantee Trent Brown's going to be there for much longer.
No, and you can't guarantee Orlando Brown's going to be there because Orlando Brown has sucked. So we're going to go with Amarius Mims, offensive tackle out of Georgia. I'm not the biggest Mims guy. I think I'm still very skeptical of, we talk about the J.J. McCarthy only watching 6 games. I have literally watched every Amarius Mims snap simply because it has been very easy to watch every Amarius Mims snap. Amarius Mims been super solid, though. You can see the size, the athleticism, shot up the boards in the combine, and I think he's going to be a perfect fit. He gets a nice developmental plan in Cincinnati. It's not the biggest win now move, but it's a move that I think could help them down the future with, a position that's obviously been such a dire need for them. And, they want to keep Joe Burrow healthy. Yeah. So Cincinnati recoups their T. Higgins investment with possibly a franchise left tackle. I would say that's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. I think, personally, I would have preferred Barton or JPJ just because you can get a guy who for a fact will occupy a spot, specifically in the interior, which is not good right now. Mm-hmm. But I think the ceiling for Mims is toe for toe with any tackle in the class. So, especially considering the age of Brown and the injury concerns and/or just questionable-ish play of Orlando Brown, I feel like if you're in a position to take him, it's kind of a no-brainer. So yeah. Then you're on the board again with the Cowboys. So
all right, the phones are open.
Or they could go sexy because I'm pretty sure in the Coleman video that I saw, their only guy who's guaranteed on the roster next year is Jalen Tolbert. So
the phones are very, very, very open for anybody.
Can I call with a team that doesn't have a first round pick?
Yes.
Ring. It's the Buffalo Bills actually, because I like.
All right, I'm not gonna put my offer in.
So like, help.
Okay.
God, we need a receiver. Oh, please.
Yep.
Actually, I'm going to call just to mess with it. I'm
Okay.
calling from the Houston Texans draft room.
I have the Houston Texans.
The Texans are not in the first round. So
Yeah, I know. I took the Texans and the Browns.
Who's doing the Panthers?
You can give me the trade, though. Give me the trade.
I'll give you all our second round picks next year and this year.
No.
What else do you want?
You're seriously going to give us all your first round picks? Or second round picks?
Just take the Bills.
Yeah.
Bro.
Okay, what's the Bills?
Oh,
The Bills is just going to be like this, and let's say 2 3s, one this year, one next year.
I would think you could get like anyone if Justin Jefferson demands out of Minnesota. You know how many second round picks you could send over that way?
Yeah, I know.
A first round pick?
You know what? I think I'm gonna do the Houston Texas one. I'm not gonna lie. I think let me tell you why. The Dallas Cowboys are in a situation in which they're a desperate team. They're a very desperate team.
Oh yeah, they Jerry doesn't even know what the hell's going on with his football team right now.
Yep.
So
I
they have to pay Dak. They have to pay Micah. They have to pay CD.
Yep.
Like they are. No, not.
I think this is either going to be a massive swing or let's get the hell out of here. And I don't see a player on the board right now.
There is no.
Who I would be willing to do the massive swing with. So
I don't really see one.
Yep.
Left, so
I'm gonna get out of Dodge
with teams
and angle for the second round.
Are we really doing this? Do I really get to trade up with a team that didn't even exist in this mock until now?
Yeah, of course.
All right,
Houston Texans.
Nick
Are you gonna pick with them?
backflips in the what do you call it? D'Amico Ryans is doing backflips. I'm doing backflips.
Oh my god, it's perfect. Yeah, I know.
Houston needs a corner. I don't think Derek Stingley is as good as advertised. And even if
really?
Steven Nelson.
This is where you're going?
This is exactly. Where do you think I was going to go?
I saw that going.
Let me hear this first.
Huh?
Where'd you think I was going to go?
I thought you were going to go with a certain. I know you don't. It's not necessarily your biggest need, but I thought you were going to go on the interior.
Interior D line.
In offense. I mean, it could be either.
It's not with
You're a big Juice Scruggs guy, right?
Juice
Well, okay, so I'm gonna ask a question. Hey, what is Michael's favorite NFL team? It's on that flag. The second question, what's his favorite college team? I'm gonna share my screen and hope for the best. All right.
Yeah, this is it.
Wow.
He's so good. He's awesome. He could be the best corner in this class. He got hurt in the combine or whatever. He's going to be ready at the start of camp. So I don't know what the big injury scare was, but whatever I'm going to just be straight blunt. He was awful his sophomore year. 2 years ago, he was terrible. I watched him get burnt. I actually watched him allow 250 yards against Wake Forest. With the last year that Sam Hartman was in Wake Forest, I watched him allow 400 yards in one game. Like 4 touchdowns. It was the worst performance I've ever seen. And since that Wake Forest game, he has been one of the best corners in college football. He has locked down everybody he's faced. He's awesome. I don't understand the injury concern at all. He has not been injured except for this injury at the combine. You can talk about the frame or whatever. I don't care. He's great. I cannot believe he's still on the board at 24. Everyone in the Texans is doing backflips. I'm doing backflips. You know, my grandparents in Clemson, everyone's doing backflips. This is great. I mean, the Texans offseason, I mean, I don't know. Like, they're the second best team in the AFC. And this just what do you call it? Bolsters it. And now you have 5 years of Nate Wiggins with under rookie contract, and you still have 2 left of Derek Stingley. It's great. This is like the craziest thing is that corner's the biggest need.
Yep.
I think you could have got him top of the second round, and that's my biggest thing. I'm worried about the injuries. I'm worried about the tackling, but I like him as a player. I have a late first round grade on him now, and I have him as corner 4. But I like the player. I think he could be solid. I think it's a good fit.
Yeah. So I'm up here, I think, with the Packers.
Yep.
And I'm not really sure what to do, to be honest, because corner, like it's Kool-Aid or just punt on corner. But what is more of? I mean, other than Cooper DeJean, what is more of a Packers pick than Graham Barton? Like he is
Great pick.
He can play. He played all of his snaps, I believe, in 2023 were at left tackle. That should tell you enough. So they lost David Bakhtiari. He hung him up. Good for him. But this guy can play all 5 positions, like we said with Fontana. Like, be honest, I can. He is. I mean, you see, he is 0.01 off from being the perfect interior offensive lineman athletically. 2 sacks, 11 pressures at tackle in the ACC.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like this is a pretty chalky pick again, but my God, like it is perfect for what the Packers need right now. I mean, if you want to reach a little bit for like an actual tackle, like a Morgan, like I would rather just bank on the versatility of Barton, and you also have Elton Jenkins who can do the same thing for you. So, yeah, no brainer for me. So, yeah.
This is a home run. I think he's the best player available. I do not think he's the best
Verse
player
is on the board, by the way.
I do. I think he's the best player available. I think he's the second best player available. I think it's a fantastic pick. I love the fit.
Yeah. So here are the Bucks.
The Bucks. I mean, once again, no, I'm declining the call. I'm sorry, but you're gonna understand why in a second. Well, there's 2 teams doing backflips right now. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, come on.
What?
I just saw the doc.
Yeah, you did.
Come on.
No, I'm picking Kool-Aid.
Yep.
I would just like to go read the DB depth chart for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now.
It is real.
Zion McCollum and Bryce Hall.
I know. I think edge is such a need, man, and I think Verse being right there.
But they just drafted Kalijah Kancey.
Yeah.
But who's on the other side?
Logan Hall.
And Kancey can play inside too.
My God.
Kancey, I think, is better inside. So I don't know. I get it, but
at the same time, Zion McCollum. That's all I'm saying for this pick. Kool-Aid McKinstry was the DB1 in this class,
And like as the season began.
Yeah. I don't really think he did.
He didn't fall off.
Nothing that's made him fall to this spot.
Other guys were better.
Other guys were just better. He was still awesome. He's still a great corner. He's going to be good for the Buccaneers or whatever team drafts him. I mean, his name's Kool-Aid for hell's sake. I mean, Kool-Aid sauce.
I think it's like.
No, it's not. It's something weird.
It's good Quincy. It's good Quincy.
It's the Quincy?
G-A Quincy.
Good Quincy. All right. I'll think about Takaris McKinley, not McKinstry.
All right. Well, yep. I don't really have many objections other than the same thing that Adam was saying, because I think Verse is a better edge than Kool-Aid's a corner, but I don't know. I don't. It's not. I'm not mad at it at all. So
I mean, I can't imagine trotting out Zion McCollum on that ball field. Spelled Z-Y-O-N.
Yeah, and here are the
Cardinals.
Cardinals. They were
Monty's
probably
head just
vying.
exploded,
They're
so
probably vying for.
Monty's head just exploded. It's full bottle service at Arizona Cardinals facility because this is the slam dunk of them all.
Yeah.
How did this happen? We may never know. But Jared Verse, some people's edge 1 is sitting right here. I'm a little more skeptical of Verse. I think there are limitations to his game. I think, as we talked about a little bit with Turner with the mechanics, I think Verse even more so has those limitations. But I think there are a lot of teams that are in love with him, including apparently Chicago at 9.
Yeah.
He could have gone at 9, guys. I thought about him at 9.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah. So for him to be here at 27, Arizona's thrilled. They came out of the draft with Marvin Harrison and Jared Verse.
And Caleb
home
Williams.
run.
Oh, no, never mind. Wrong team.
Home run.
Wrong team. Oh, we're talking about the Bear.
Yeah, Caleb and Roan, which is
Caleb and Roan.
Pretty
still
close.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But 4 and 27, Verse and Harrison.
Like
this team is really well set up for the future, and they're still going. So I would be thrilled with this pick if I'm Monty Ossenfort and the Chicago Bears. Yep. I mean the Arizona Cardinals. I need to stop talking. It's too late at night.
Yeah.
Congrats to them.
So the Bills tried to trade up for receiver. It didn't go well. But oh my God, I've never seen other than the Chargers. There's probably not a bleaker receiver room right now.
There's still one receiver worth taking in the first round, I think.
Yeah, I mean 2, depending on who you like.
They both
go to the same school. Yeah, I was saying that. Yeah. So, do you get the athletic freak who teams? I don't know. There seems to be a smokescreen thing about him, not. I mean, I don't know if it's smokescreen or it's legit about him. This effort being weird.
It's just smokescreen.
Or do you get the? I mean, they're both athletic freaks.
You get the guy who you actually saw production from.
Yeah. That's a question. Do you get the guy with the hardware, which is just We're doing rings talk for college football.
The guy who was completely irrelevant.
I mean, I see the 999 and I'm just like, interesting. So we're going AD Mitchell.
Oh my God.
Okay. I mean, I love Worthy. I think the difference between them is minimal. But let's just look at the athletic profiles: 5'11", 165, 6'2", 205. I would take 6'2", 205 with. I mean, I'd 9 times out of 10 personally.
We didn't see it.
Yeah, I know. We didn't really see it, but
the same problem we have with JJ McCarthy that we slammed JJ McCarthy for, but for some reason with Adonai Mitchell, it's also spoken about.
28 is 28, so I'm not really tripping about it. And also, you desperately need a receiver. And I don't really know how high the ceiling is compared to Mitchell. So it's a toss-up for me between them. If they went Worthy, I'm like, okay. But if they went Mitchell, it will also be okay. So, yeah, I'm going AD Mitchell. I don't feel great about it, but I don't feel great about the Bills leaving day one without a receiver. So, worth a shot. Yeah.
All right, phones are open from Detroit. Somebody please, 'cause I have no idea what I'm doing right here.
So,
want to take corner?
Can teams that have already picked, second round picks call back in?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Depends what the offer is, though.
Okay. Well, the Chicago Bears are calling back in.
Oh God, no. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I need to look at the orders again. I mean, low key ring Arizona Cardinals.
What's the offer, young man?
They have 11 picks. That's tied for the most in the class. So, I'm going to give you 35, 104, and a future of 4.
Deal.
Bang. Cardinals on the board. And they have the world is our oyster, as they say.
Never heard of
it. Speaking of not oysters, speaking of world breakers. Okay, we got our edges off the board, interior off the board. All the corners are gone, but no. Okay, wait. So
You didn't think this through before you did it, didn't you?
well, before saying it, but there are so many good options. So my eyes are looking. Okay, yeah, okay. He's not really a world record, but he's a damn good player. So JPJ, Cardinals. I didn't think he would go like this low, to be honest. But if he's, I mean, I wouldn't have waited to 35, to be honest, because he is instant plug and play center. Something they've been waiting for a good minute. He's a very good player. Unanimous All-American, first team Pac-12. One pressure all season for that Oregon team.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He'll be 20. He'll be 21 at camp, and he'll be 22 at the end of the season. Like, he's got everything you want in a prototypical center. Pretty chalky. I think with the tackles left, I would much rather just go interior because I'm not like, oh my God, we had Jonah Williams, can't go tackle, but also haven't really addressed interior at all. So,
yeah, I mean, I like to pick a lot. There's a lot of talk about him sliding out of the first round, actually, as of recently, and West Virginia's Zach Frazier going above him. I'm not really sure where that's coming from. I like Powers Johnson a lot. I at one point had him over Barton. I think he's great, athletic, great footwork. Like, he's awesome. So I'm all in on him.
Okay, Ravens at 30.
All right.
Adam again.
This is a tough one because there are two guys on the board which Harbaugh is looking at. And one of them is a bit more of a project. But this is Johnny Harbaugh we're talking about, okay?
Yeah.
He thinks he can handle it, right? He's confident in himself. And there's another guy, pretty proven talent, I would say. The ceiling may not be as high, the position may not be as much of a need, but it's definitely up there. He's definitely a talent. We're going to go with the guy who's a proven talent. I'm just higher on him personally. I don't know if it's what the Ravens would do, but he's the guy I'm higher on. And that's Chop Robinson, edge out of Penn State. I like Chop a lot. This is definitely where the edge class starts to fall off.
Yeah, like he's the last guy, in my opinion. But
he is probably the last guy. But really talented player. Obviously, you can see very athletic player. Still developing his game. He had games where he would just completely disappear at times at Penn State. We would kind of worry about him a little bit against elite tackles. He's got to, develop as far as on a technical standpoint. But I think Baltimore is the perfect place to do that. They have a history of doing that. Guys like Justin Mazabuke this past year have done that. I think he's going to be awesome. I love the fit here,
so cool.
And just a really great fit.
Yeah.
So all in on Chop Robinson to the Baltimore Ravens. Really like it there.
Yeah, I think the loss of Clowney to Carolina makes it a no-brainer. So yeah. All right, so we're at 31, and there's a ringing occurring, and John Lynch is going to answer the phone.
New England Patriots on the phone.
Okay.
We will give you 33 and our fourth.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
There are many receivers on the board for this god-awful team.
Our guy, Elliot Wolf, is back with the reins of Bobby Kraft raining down on him. And Bobby Kraft is saying, our new man, Jaden Daniels, our poster boy for the franchise, man, let's get him some protection so he doesn't run out of the game with a concussion on the first play, because Lord knows that's going to happen with this offensive line and the way Jaden Daniels plays. So, absolutely, the New England Patriots on the board here, they're going to steal it from the Kansas City Chiefs. You can see the look on Michael Cormos' face, on Brett Veach's face. He is going through the motions right now. And No, you're not. And you really shouldn't be because this is not a guy that I'm actually that high on, but I'm still going to take him here. Anyway, we're going to go Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma.
Yep.
I thought you were going to take one of my two guys right from me.
No.
No.
So I thought that Tyler Guyton's the guy who I was referring to from Baltimore. He's viewed as kind of a fringe first-round tackle, really because of the intangibles.
Yeah.
6'7", 222 pounds. Yeah, 9.73 relative athletic score. He's viewed in league circles as, this monstrous athlete who's going to be a developmental project. He's played around the same time as Amarius Mims. The problem with that hasn't really been anywhere near as good as Mims in that time. There's a visible difference between the talents of Mims and his talent. So you're really taking a risk here, really taking a bet. And I'm not sure this works out because Mr. Elliott Wolf is
remember Isaiah Wynn guys in the
Kraft,
first round.
He's saying, no, we don't have the infrastructure to be able to do this. We don't have I don't know that we have the talents coaching-wise to be able to develop this guy right away. We're a first-year coaching staff, Mr. Kraft. Mr. Kraft says, no, Elliott, this is your prerogative. You must protect the quarterback. And so Tyler Guyton, a New England Patriot, Mr. Bobby Kraft is smiling down, and there will be sell the team chance in about 3 years.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't
really have many objections to that. Only thing is, if I were them, I would have. Let's see. I would have rather gone receiver and just punted and waited for like one of the lower end developmental tackles like Amagaji out of Yale, or like Rosengarten from Washington. Because my God. If Jaden Daniels doesn't have weapons, maybe he sucks.
Yeah, maybe.
But also,
maybe
that's not indicative on him because NFL quarterbacks usually need weapons to succeed. What? But yeah, I think either or, because it's either Jaden Daniel dies, but also throw some dots to like Keon Coleman or Xavier Worthy, or he throws dots to Demario Douglas and Tyquan Thornton and doesn't die. Take your pick. So, speaking of receivers, Kansas City Chiefs, who their receiver one is low-key might be on the exempt list.
You missed your chance to stop this.
Yeah. Phones are down because, my God, the Chiefs need a receiver.
So the Chiefs need a left tackle because Wanya Morris is currently starting, and that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
Mahomes got it done.
Elliott had a chance to trade up and completely end the chances of a three-peat. But Mr. Elliott is stupid. He calls Robert Kraft. So, along with Rashee Rice, who will get a slap on the wrist, maybe a 2-game suspension, because this is how the NFL goes, and Hollywood Brown, the Chiefs are now going to get Xavier Worthy, and Andy Reid's going to run circles around every other team in football.
Yep, he's going to go for like he's going to put up Rashee Rice numbers pretty much as he did in his rookie year. So, yep.
And everywhere, everyone in the football world is now calling for Elliott's head.
Yeah.
This guy, he's awesome. I mean, he's so fast. Obviously he's fast. Broke the record for whatever 40-yard dash. We've seen it all 3 years at Texas. He's just constantly put up good production. He's constantly, just torching deep receivers on. He's tortured the Big 12. He would have tortured the SEC if he stayed one more year. He's great. He gets separation. He's an awesome route runner. He's everything you'd ask for in a wide receiver.
Yep.
And now he's going to be the wide receiver.
He's going to get a ring in his rookie year. It's just going to be fun.
He's going to get a ring in his rookie year.
I don't mind it. I really think the Chiefs need tackle. And
you had your chance. Chiefs take a tackle, but Elliott wanted the guy I wanted. I could have taken Jordan Morgan.
But like,
Yeah,
I would have
that's
rather
where I
taken
would
Morgan
go,
than
honestly.
Well, you
But
had the chance to have me take Jordan Morgan, but no. You wanted Tyler Guyton. So I got mad and took Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
And Andy
I
Reid
get it.
running circles around everybody again.
I understand. All right, guys.
Panthers pick.
I mean,
Should I?
I mean, you can,
Okay, I'll do it.
just so it can be 11 per, just because,
Okay.
I
will
don't
take
your
definitely
receivers, my God. But also, low-key,
Jordan Morgan.
Does this mean I
most
get to do
is,
my David
like,
Tepper impression?
Yes, do it.
yeah, you can.
I shouldn't do it on a live podcast.
You
I
throw
will-
your
I will
Gatorade
refrain
water
myself.
bottle at the screen.
Okay, I think that fits. All right,
Yeah. That was amazing. Yeah.
that was amazing. Carolina Panthers.
They suck. They suck.
Yes.
The offense
There's a lot of needs here.
Terrible.
Huh?
Offense is decent.
Yeah,
Defense.
they got Deontay Johnson for a bag of
They
chips.
made improvements on the O-line that I like. Bryce Young might not
Yep.
suck this year.
Yep. I like the improvements on the offensive line. I think, you have to trust Ikem Ekwonu if I'm in this front office. You have to.
Oh.
He died. David Tepper got
Yeah, that was David Tepper. He was like,
That was David Tepper. David Tepper kidnapped me. I'm sorry. David Tepper does not want to trust Ikem Ekwonu. He is out on Ikem Ekwonu. He turned the lights off. He said, no. But we're going to ignore David Tepper for now and deal with the consequences later. There's a lot of ways this pick can go. I think one of the biggest needs still remains to be interior offensive line. I think for this Carolina Panthers team, you've got Robert Hunt. That's great. But, continuing to build upon that, continuing to protect Bryce Young continues to be very important. I would have loved to go receiver here. I would have loved to try to fortify this offense. But
okay. Well, I'm going to pause you right there and say that they also gave Damian Lewis a bag.
Yeah, that is true.
So it's center.
Yep,
Well,
it is center.
I'm okay. I was.
It is center, and because it's center, I'll speed this up. David Tepper is going to get me, but I'm going Zach Frazier.
Yeah.
Center.
Don't have a picture for him. But
there may not be a picture. He's a cool guy. He could probably go in the first round. I think solid pick for the Carolina Panthers. I think it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Bryce Young's going to have an average season.
Which is a lot better than last year.
Yeah. So I want to take a minute. If you have stuck here for 2 hours and 15
You're
minutes,
insane. First off, you're insane.
Yes, I think we need to get you some therapy. And second off, thank you so much. If you've sat here for 15 seconds, thank you so much. We put a lot of work into this.
See this part.
Yep, you probably won't see this part. That's true. Maybe you skip to the end. Maybe you're one of those.
Maybe you skip to your team. I don't know.
Yep.
See what the Panthers were going to do.
Oh my God! Yeah. They did my Panthers. Oh my God! I need to hear what I don't know.
We really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. But David Tepper is out to get us because it is bedtime, and we thank you guys so much for all your support. Who are we gonna fire today?
Tobias Harris.
Well,
yes.
No. Actually, hold on.
I mean, it's
fire every single 76ers rotation player that is not named Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, or Kyle Lowry.
Yep.
Hold on. I know who we're firing.
And
hold on. Wait. Sorry.
And Elton Brand and Daryl Morey and Josh Harris.
I would say Josh Harris, but you can't
Who was
fire
the official the other night? He's the most person involved. I'm trying to figure. They're hiding him. They're hiding his name on Google. I can't find him.
Who?
The guy who officiated the last game.
Oh, John Gogol.
Get him. Don't even fire him. Get him.
I don't know if we can say that. David Tepper's on the run, guys.
Yeah.
David Tepper's out to get him. He's going to turn the lights out on him, too.
In the week.
All right.
Good night, America. Thank you so much.